Hi, an interesting part or aspect of depression is the subject of being selfish and selfishness and how that sort of manifests itself. And it's kind of almost like a prickly subject because people don't like to be thought of as selfish. Obviously, people can be selfish and not be depressed. That can be just a characteristic or whatever personality trait. But because of the nature of, if you like, especially high functioning depression, where people are operating normally within, if you like, a structure within their workplace or within their families and, carrying out normal activities on a daily basis and seeming to everybody as being okay and everything okay and everything's functioning normally. But it's when it comes to maybe social aspects, when there's a little bit more a need for initiative. And for instance, you might get invites to events or parties or birthdays, or just get invited out, or people contact you, your friends contact you, and you don't feel like getting back to them, or you just don't bother returning the text message, and because you kind of closing yourself off because that initiative is needed in a social event. And that's where it can really start to manifest, because if you have this feeling, these depressive symptoms, you're hurting in some way. There's pain there, and you're not comfortable in your own skin, and you're unhappy with some aspect or different aspects of your life. You may not be actually aware of what those aspects are, but it's making you depressed. It's making you manifesting depressive symptoms. And because of the nature of that, and it goes against our normal natural nature, which is, to be sort of healthy and happy, it drags you in, it closes you off from the world, it shuts you down. So you're kind of protecting yourself from, the outside world, from society, from your friends, and you probably feel, well, I'm rubbish company anyway, and I don't have anything to talk about, and I just want to be on my own. And this is where people can sort of start to think, oh, well, I'm not going to bother with them anymore because they don't come back to me, they don't reply to me, they never come out, and it seems like they're saying about you that you don't care or you're not interested. And because you're feeling that sort of wanting to shut yourself off in a way you probably don't care, and that does sound quite brutal and a bit harsh, but that is the nature of the beast, because you're trying to look after yourself, you're trying to protect yourself, and you're kind of shut down and overwhelmed maybe by the negativity that you're trying to figure out. You're desperately trying to figure out how to get out of it. And you can be sort of obsessively thinking and ruminating on it, like, why am I always feeling like this? And even if you're not consciously aware that you're trying to fix it, you will be, because you won't enjoy feeling like that. It's not pleasant. It's not a nice place to be. And that's, as like I say, where this seemingly behaviour of being selfish is. And it can look selfish to people from the outside. And they start to get tired of you and think, well, I'm not going to bother with them anymore because they don't bother with me. And there might be the sort of relationships where you might not feel actually able to talk to people and say, well, actually, I'm feeling rubbish. I'm going through a really tough patch. And I don't feel like socialising or coming out and doing things and having fun, because and you might feel afraid to even sort of reveal it, because people find it difficult to admit that they're feeling rubbish, that they're having depressive symptoms, even though millions of people suffer from this. It's still taboo. There is still a stigma, and it's something I'm not going to crack it, but I just want people to understand that this is human nature, and a lot of people suffer from this, and it's not pleasant, but you can get over it, and you have to seek help for this. When you don't feel that you can talk to people and you're locking yourself away, you're functioning in one aspect of your life or several aspects of your life, but in other aspects you're shutting yourself off and you're coming across as selfish and not caring, which deep down is not the case, but you can't help behaving like this. And it's horrible. It's not a nice place to be, because you're not doing yourself justice either. And you want people to know that actually you are a caring human being, but that you're hurting in some way or in many ways. and you're trying to figure it out, and you probably feel, well, I just need a bit more time. I just need a bit more. Sorry, I'm getting these messages about the frame, my camera. You just need a bit more time to figure it out, or to sort it out, and you'll be back, back at the party in a couple of months, and all will be fine. But it's not fine. And then, the months go on, and nothing really changes. And you find that maybe people are falling away from you, and they're not calling you anymore. And then you start to feel even more alone. So it really can become a vicious cycle. And it's a toughie. It's a tough place to be. And it's absolutely vital to reach out for help, to try to get help for this, and talk to people, or find a therapist. And I'm certainly one to talk to, and please do contact me. Because people, no matter how close, and it's one of the kind of paradoxes of humanity, and if paradox is the right word, because we need connection. We're human beings. We need connection. We thrive on it, and we need it for survival. But when you have these feelings, these depressive feelings, and this actually cuts you off. It makes you want to cut yourself off from people. So it's really, it really hits the kind of the basic, that pyramid of needs, for survival and love and like connection. Sorry, the love and connection is actually higher up on the pyramid, but it is a survival need, basic need, that connection, because otherwise you just become totally isolated, and really just go down into a negative spiral. And what else I was going to say, it was on the tip of my tongue, and I've lost it. That we do, yes, we need that connection, but we cut ourselves off, and that's why it's so important to reach out for help, and to ask a professional, so you don't feel like you're sort of revealing your deepest, darkest whatever to your close friends and family. And the other thing is that no matter how close and a relationship you have with somebody, your friends and family, nobody ever really understands how you feel. I firmly believe that you can sort of sympathize and empathize, but nobody really knows what it is like to be in your shoes when you're feeling rubbish and you have these depressive symptoms. And it's a very lonely place to be. And it really is important to get help, to talk to somebody. And that alone, that in itself will help you feel better. I feel passionately about this. It's a very, very isolating, and we're surrounded by media, and I just mentioned about media this morning in my post, that we're just bombarded with media and everybody being happy and showing their happy pictures on Facebook, and that's just not the reality. Life can be tough for a lot of people. And so I hope that's been helpful. I've got a lot more to say on this topic. I could talk all night about it, but I'm just doing some short clips bit by bit. And do share my videos if you think they'd be helpful for anybody else that or just leave some comments or ask me some questions. I'd be very happy to hear from you. Bye for now, and have a great evening.